Hello everyone, and welcome back to Breath of the Wild with Amiibos until Tears of the Kingdom comes out. We've only got like 2 of these left. I'm gonna miss you guys, but I hope to see you on my next adventures as well. Let's get to opening Amiibos. Do you guys think we're gonna see other races in the next game? Like Kokiri, Picori, maybe friendly Deku Scrubs? Because Octorok's kind of took the place of Deku Scrubs in this game, right? I think it would be neat if we did. What are we gonna break these with? You, I guess. Haven't done any main series recording yet between Amiibos. I'm kind of stressed about figuring out how to get the last 5 shrines done in a single episode. So I put off recording for a day. Which race do you guys most want to see in Tears of the Kingdom if they were to add some of the old ones? Even like River Zoras, right? Because they were completely different from the Zoras we have in this game. Could be cool. How many weapon slots do I have open? Jeez. For me, it's kind of tough because I actually really liked Minish Cap. It's probably my favorite of the 2D games, and sorry if that upsets anyone to hear. I enjoyed it a lot, and the Picori were adorable, but I don't see how it would work in this game. Because I thought a lot of their charm was from the fact you could shrink down and find out they're living all around town and inside of boots and stuff, and I can't imagine a shrinking down function in this game. So, probably won't be seeing the Picori. It probably just wouldn't blend too well. But there was a concept for it in Breath of the Wild. That's why they always come to mind. But, the Twilight, or Twilly, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that, honestly. The Twilight folk that Meadna was a part of. That is not what I meant to do. It would also be pretty cool to see a return from, but I think going to the Twilight Realm is also a bit of a stretch. So it's kind of hard to think, like, there are races in the Zelda world I like, and they're not also races that would fit into this format of game. So it's hard to decide. Deku Scrubs, I think, could fit in nicely, honestly. Or even a different variation of the Rito, because they did look pretty different in Wind Waker, and it would be neat if like they were on the Zonai Sky Island, you know? Could be interesting. Like even Phantom Hourglass brought in that. I forget the name of the race, but they had like the antlers and they were the snow folk. Those could be interesting to see a return from. I'm also thinking for like, so, alright, I'm gonna be pretty honest about the timeline. I don't think Nintendo has ever thought about or cared about the timeline. I think they just want to make a fun game. And considering the fact that the Zelda series is my favorite game series, I'd say they do that pretty gosh darn successfully, so I don't mind that they don't care about having a cohesive timeline at all. Right? So I don't think there is a canonical timeline, if you will. I think in the history or whatever, they might have slapped it together. Probably based on fan theories. But, so I don't think there is a cohesive timeline. But I also think that's what makes it so fun to theorize about. Because that means there's always lots of gaps left in it and possibilities, and lets your imagination run wild, right? And that's really awesome. And I think that's what makes the Dark Souls lore so fun too. Is that it's so obscure and so much of it is hidden that it leaves all of the room for theorizing. So I thought, if I wanted to theorize on this game's lore, and I've done that in the past where I've said I think this is a different split from the rest of the timeline, starting at Skyward Sword. But I have a new theory now, and that is, what if there was a... what are they called in... I think it's Skyrim, they call Dragon Breaks or something? When the... I can't believe I just said Skyrim. Elder Scrolls series, they're called Dragon Breaks. Where all the timelines kind of converge. And I think that would make the most sense for this game, because when you're doing the sword ceremony and stuff, and Zelda's like, whether you're adrift in the sky and twilight and blah blah blah, and bringing up all the games, and some of them may not necessarily fit together in one timeline, but if all of the timelines converge back together, it would make sense, you know? That could be pretty neat. Kind of funny, I've been wanting to play this game all day, but I haven't been wanting to record today. So I haven't been playing it. Weird how that ends up happening. Oh. And that's probably for the best though, because I had stuff to do today. Couldn't waste it playing video games all day. Gotta talk to an old friend today, spend some time with them. Went to my mother's because it was her birthday today. That was nice. Got to see my nieces, see how they're doing. Seemed pretty tucked up for the weekend. I guess they spent the weekend at their grandma's house. Grandma on the other side of the family, not my mother's house. So they were pretty chill. Nice day all around. But yeah, unfortunately not a day I could spend playing a video game. Which is also why I'm going to be kind of quiet in this episode. If you notice, I'm using more whispered voice than I usually do because it's late at night and everyone's asleep, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get my Amiibo episode done before midnight, so I gotta get it in right now. Wow, what a shocking arrow. In my last episode, I asked you guys to tell me fun things about your countries that you live in, because I'm a very uncultured person. I don't know much about different countries. And I always prefer to learn from, like, conversation rather than looking stuff up, because I feel like opinions get a lot of bias and false information when you try to look it up, right? So it's easier to just hear it straight from another person who just wants to chat, rather than someone who's trying to feed you information. Some weird article, like, here's 10 things you didn't know about Canada. And then you read all them, and like, as a Canadian you read it, and you're like, yeah, these aren't true. So in this one I'm kind of curious. If, you know, where else in the world would you like to travel one day? Because for me, I think South Korea is a big one. Probably brought that up before. I also really think Finland is interesting. I think they're a lot better at winters than Canada is. And it would be really neat to kind of see their infrastructure for that in person. Because you know I love the snow. Oh yeah. Ooh, attack of 23. That is, a lot stronger than the little baby sword we've been hanging on to since the beginning of the series. What can I toss? I'll toss this out. Goodbye. There we go. Kind of funny, when I was younger, I'd always watch videos about Canada. And that's how I think that was really a good experience to have growing up. Because that's how I learned that a lot of stuff you hear about other countries online is not true. And that's, you know, sorry if I tried to not gain too many biases of my own and prefer to hear directly from people who actually live in those areas. There's one thing that was really weird when I was younger. It was like, yeah, here in Canada, our milk comes in bags. And then the guy held up like a bag of milk. And I'm like, yeah, at the time I was only 13. But now I'm 24 years old. And I've never left Canada. And I've also never once seen milk in a bag. No, our milk does not come in bags. It was always just weird stuff like that. People would be like, "Did you know that in Canada?" Blah blah. And it's like, no. Yeah, in Canada we love these maple flavored cookies. And it's like, I've seen those cookies one time in my life at like a gift shop, not like a normal grocery store even sells them. And so I was curious, and I got them and tried them, and they were really disgusting. And I was like, no, in Canada we do not love those maple flavored cookies. At least I sure don't. And they're not common items. You don't just see them chilling in the dessert aisle in a grocery store, you know? You're gonna find Oreos just like anywhere else. Oreos and Twinkies and Chunks Ahoy. We're not, like, that's always the thing. I've always figured Canada is pretty much just America, but if America was trying to pretend that it was different from America. That's always made me kind of laugh. The only thing that is true that I've seen about Canada that's like one of those common, this is a wacky thing about Canada, is yes, we do have poutines everywhere. Every fast food place sells them. It's very common to get them with your meal. You get a Big Mac and a poutine from McDonald's. They're at Burger King, McDonald's, Triple O's, A&W, Wendy's, any fast food place you can think of, it'll have poutine on the menu up here. That's one kind of neat thing. That's probably also how I got so fat, because instead of just having fries, which are already bad for you with your burger, it was common for me and people in my family to get poutines as a side with their burgers, which is fries and gravy and cheese. And it's like, oh, that is not at all healthy. Tastes really good though. And I say, if you are ever in Canada and you really want to try a poutine, this is gonna sound silly, but my favorite poutine places, for the two of them, are Costco. Yes, Costco, the grocery store. And a place called, I think it's New York Fries now. I think it was London Fries, and then it changed to New York Fries. but I feel like also every time I see that I get it backwards, and it was New York fries and changed to London fries. Either way, for a place called either New York or London fries. They have amazing poutines. Obviously not sponsored. They do not have enough subscribers to be sponsored. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend going and getting a Burger King poutine and judging the food off of that. It's kind of like, you know, if I went to America, I wouldn't get a burger from McDonald's and be like, so this is what American food is. You know? I'd be like, no, I'll go to a proper burger joint. One that places recommend. I don't know if you guys have a Red Robin's up there or a White Spot, but we have those here, and those are pretty good burger places if you want to try them. I think that fast food probably isn't the way to go if you want to have your first experience trying a new dish. Because you're always going to get the cheapest one possible. I don't even mention when I picked this up. Big Goron sword, guys, look. I'm just kind of off in my head today, rambling about stuff. Alright, we've got 3 Amiibos left. It's kind of funny, I've never been a manly person, let's say. Not exactly the alpha Chad that you would expect from a guy who plays video games all day, right? But this is super off topic, I just don't know what to talk about anymore. But so a lot of my search history and purchasing history online is tea and scented candles. Hey, nice Capital Hero. Because those are 2 things I like a lot, and I like very specific brands. So I try to look for those very specific brands online. Because they actually discontinued my favorite candle here, which makes me very sad. Oh, good thing I backed up. So, sorry, I got off topic. Anyway, so because of that's what the internet sees from me, I'm always getting ads and stuff on YouTube that are like, here are these feminine hygiene products, or like, here's something to help with your period cramps, and it's like, oh, no, I'm a guy. Still a guy. I just like tea and candles. Am I not allowed to like those things as a guy? Come on. I always find that funny. Because I was visiting family today, as I said. It was a birthday, so talking to them, and they're talking about how it's kind of scary how the internet tracks everything we do and turns us into zombies and faces so much around us and knows us so well, and it's like, no, in my experience it doesn't. It's very good at generalizing based on specific preferences, and that doesn't always mean you're right. Generalizing, in most cases, if not all, is generally, there we go, a pretty bad idea. So I think we're pretty safe as it is right now. Those internet algorithms are a ways off from knowing us intimately. But yeah, that was our last Amiibo. I'm still rambling. Wolflink. Where did I put Wolflink? He was behind a pop can. Alright. Wolflink, no. What? There's my boy. There's a good boy. Alrighty. Thank you all so very much for watching. And step off those arrows. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day. Please make good choices. And bye-bye.